Why wait? It's so easy to get started making jewelry with beads, baubles, and jewels. Judy Hendrix of Fire Mountain Gems and Beads joins me now. And Judy, you're going to teach us a little bit about the 3 most used types of glue.
Yes,
okay.
I think it's very important. It's any tool that you use that can make it easier when you're working is something that you don't have to worry about. So when there's a suggested glue, I think that's the glue you should use unless you've tested something else.
That's right. That's a good tip.
The first glue I'm going to show you is Hypo tube cement. I love this glue. I carry this in my supply bag because it's got a precision tip. So if you ever need a small area to glue, this is the one that you would use. It also has an applicator. I want to show you a needle applicator inside that lets you, if you put this needle back in, you don't waste your glue, which I think is a tremendous advantage.
Oh, definitely.
It also, on a half-drilled pearl, you have this little tiny hole in the center. If you used an applicator that had a large opening, you'd have it all over your pearl and ruin your pearl.
Right.
This lets you precisely in the hole. It lets you make sure that your post, if you just had a post without the cap on it, you could stick it right in there and it would hold securely.
Yeah, because if it was off-center, that would ruin the whole earring.
Exactly, and it doesn't look pretty either.
That's a good idea.
This particular, when I used it in this example, you can see that there's a lot of things going on. And when I got to the end, I had all of these threads to deal with.
Okay.
So what I did is I used a bottom clamp, and I put all my threads through, did a surgeon's knot on the end, put a drop of glue, and actually closed the bead tip. This is a bead tip. So it not only holds the knot from unknotting, but it also holds the clamp together.
Oh.
Another little tip that I think is great, when on most of these you have a split ring to put your hook into.
Yes.
If you put a drop on that where it's split, it'll hold it
because
closed.
That happens so often when you have it opening. Okay.
Right.
Oh, that's a good idea.
This is probably an example that you would never think to use it, and I just wanted to, it's a really neat thing. Every once in a while when you're designing, you run into a problem. I ran into a problem here. This is a hollow necklace that I used very tiny beads at size 15 in bugles. When I got ready, my thread was too short. I could not put the knot inside the 15 because it's too small. And I couldn't put it between the 2 beads because then I would wreck the twirl.
So I would think that, well, the whole thing's ruined.
Right.
And you got to start all over again.
Where all you really have to do is tie your new thread on this, put a drop of the Hypo so that it doesn't come out. Because you know, if you tie a thread to a thread, you can pull it apart.
Right.
You put the Hypo cement on there. It's very secure. Pull it up into the bugle. It cements itself to the bugle, and you're good to go. So it's just
that's
something
clever.
And it's something to think about when you're designing. We also have this in fabric cement with this tiny tip, which is wonderful with these flat back Swarovski.
Okay.
This is a little tool that, and you can make one yourself with a little stick and a little bit of wax. You pick up your crystal.
Oh, look at that.
Put your little drop, because that's precise. Lay it on your fabric, and it sticks to the fabric.
And you can, so it'll stick on this velvet any kind of that mesh stuff or anything.
It's made it specifically for that. Another thing to note about this, and the next glue I'm going to show you, if you'll notice on the back of the Swarovski, it's got a silver back on it. It won't turn it black. And there are some glues that will do that.
Oh, that's right.
So you've done all that work and you've ruined your design.
Exactly, because then it'll discolor.
So that's something to consider. Always test your glues, always.
Now, this is the E6000?
Yes, and this is a great glue. This is probably the glue that I use the most. It dries clear, and yet it's pliable. So it's very, very versatile. It does take the evening to dry. But what I like, I do a lot of jewelry with antique buttons, and a lot of them have holes in them. So if you put your glue, and if you do glue through there, a lot of times you can't get your needle through. This you can.
Oh, really?
You can actually sew through it. It has the consistency of the old rubber cement.
Didn't think there was anything like that.
No, I know. It's wonderful. So even if you make a little mistake and you get a little bit of glue on the top, whether it be a button or a cabochon, you can actually, when it dries, roll it off. And yet it's very strong. Another application, when I do my brooches, I like to hold my ultra suede on the back before I start stitching it on, so that it looks professional. And look how it doesn't create the wave.
Beautiful.
A lot of times the glue, you know,
nice
it gets
flat surface.
It's nice and flat, and that it is self-leveling, and that's what this glue does. This example, I used leather, and I took a metal bracelet. So it works also with the different textures or whatever.
A barrette.
A barrette. I'm sorry, the metal barrette. And the leather, I used the other cement to put my Swarovski on there, and then you can see it's still very flexible as I glued that on.
That is amazing.
Isn't that something?
Because you think it would be hard as a rock.
It's hard as a rock, and it isn't, even with the leather. So with
Especially
it
when
doesn't
you're wearing
matter.
something in your hair, you want a little flexibility to it.
So that's
beautiful. And then there's the epoxy.
The epoxy. You know, everybody's afraid of the epoxy. But the reason that is because years ago it came in 2 different tubes, and it said, warning all over it, make sure you get them mixed absolutely precisely, or it wouldn't work.
This does it for you.
Yes, the applicator itself is what is so wonderful. It actually does it for you. The thing you have to note, though, is see the bubbles in it?
Yes.
Now, if I were to start plunging that, it probably would not come out in an even flow.
Because of the bubbles.
Because of the bubbles.
Okay.
So you have to make sure you either tap it or whatever, squirt it like the doctor does, to get it so that it actually comes out of the tube in an even flow.
Okay.
Then you really, really, really mix it.
Mix it.
Yes. The only thing you don't want to do is leave the room and go get what you're going to come back and glue, because it's going to be set. It's very quick drying. This is 5-minute. It glues from glass to glass, and it glues from metal to metal. You can also add color to that by putting bone fragments or bone shavings or wood shavings.
So it could actually assist you in your design.
Yes, in an inlay. It would be great to put color in it.
Thank you so much, Judy. These are really some great tips for everyone to use today.
You're quite welcome.
Well, I'll be right back with a new feature, the Fashion Focus, and today is all about chokers.